Avalyn and welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. So today we're building something pretty big. This video is also quite long, so I'm sorry about that, but I tried my best to cut as much out as I could. So you'll see quite a lot of cuts here and there, a lot more than usual, and I'm sorry for that if that's not really your thing, but otherwise the video would have been like 45 minutes long and I'm not ready for that kind of voiceover. So quite a lot of cuts in this one, but it is just to make sure that the video didn't turn out to be too long. But today we are building something that was actually suggested by one of you guys, because Danny suggested a couple of days ago that I could do a TV reality mansion, and I thought that was such a cool idea. So I was like, you know what? Heck yeah, we're gonna do this. So I decided to go online and find some inspiration for the kind of house that I wanted to do, because I knew that I wanted it to be contemporary, but you guys know contemporary is not really my forte. I am still new at contemporary houses. So I needed some inspiration for the facade of the build, and then just, you know, everything else just kind of follows after that. So I went online. I don't remember where I found this house, but it is inspired by a house that I found somewhere on the internet, of course. But yeah, I found this house that was sort of like a little bit simple, so I could still make changes to it, add some stuff to it, and it just looked really nice. Like, it looked like it was big and spacey, and yeah, it just looked really nice. So I decided to go for that one. And then for the terrain manipulation, or the landscaping I should say, I had this idea since the terrain manipulation came out that for one of my houses that I was going to do with Get Famous, I wanted the front door to the house to be on a platform. I wanted there to be this kind of pathway up to the platform, and then under the platform I wanted there to be 3 pillars, and I wanted there to be a pond as well. I don't know why. And then on each side of the pond, or like under the house that is placed on a hill, I wanted there to be plants and just like life. So that is the kind of idea I have for the terrain manipulation that I was talking about in my Get Famous starter. When was that, Sunday? So I decided to combine the two, and this is what we're doing today. So I am super excited to share this house with you guys. I think it turned out okay. It's quite big and the floor plan is a little bit weird. I'll have to explain a few things regarding the interior as well, because that's a little bit strange too, but I do like how this house turned out. I feel like it's a little bit different from my usual builds, but I also feel like I've said that for the last like 4 houses. So it may not be that different after all, but I tried my best. So yeah, I also had to ask one of my good friends, Kristen Marie XO, for advice on the color scheme, because I could not make up my freaking mind. You know the base game windows, the very glassy ones you can see right now? Actually, not the ones with the lines on them, because they're from Spa Day, but the other ones that are just like plain glass. They come in a lot of different colors. So you got like a dark blue, you got a turquoise kind of blue, you got a, I think it's beige as well, and then you got a peach pink kind of color. And I couldn't decide what kind of color scheme I wanted for the house, if I wanted it to be black and white, or if I wanted it to be just plain white and then with stained windows. So I was having a few issues with that, and I had to ask her for help, and basically at the end we decided to go for the turquoise stained windows that I know some of you guys don't like, but personally I like them. I also feel like it's very kind of realistic to have stained windows when you have this kind of house where celebrities are in or live in, because then people from the outside can't look in, of course. So I decided to go for those. Plus I do feel like it looks very nice in the end with like a whole completely like white build and then just stained windows. I think it looks really, really freaking cool. So at some point you'll see the color scheme change from one clip to the other, because I changed it like 10 times while filming, and I just decided to cut it out because it was a lot. So yes, hopefully you guys don't mind. I actually do that quite often, where if I'm building on a house and I can't decide on the color scheme, I'll just change it over and over and over and sit there for like 40 minutes, just change it over and over and over until I have spent way too long on it, and then decided to just go back to the original color scheme that I was working with, and then I just cut it all out of my video because it's just why would you want to see me change the color scheme of the whole house over and over and over? And then just change it back to the first one. So there's always a little bit that doesn't end up in the video, just, you know, FYI. This was one of those situations, but I do like how it turned out in the end. I don't think I have done a fully white modern house yet, and it was fun to do that for, or it's not fully white, but like all the walls and the trims and all that stuff is white, and then you just got the stained windows that add a little bit of color. So I thought that was nice for a change because I haven't done that before, and I hope you guys like it. So I also got to experiment a little bit with the terrain manipulation tools, which was so much fun, and I think I've gotten the hang of it somewhat. I'm sure there's still a lot to learn because they're quite complex tools, but I do think I've gotten the hang of it just a little bit. So I do want to try and explain exactly what I did to make sure that there's no foundation under the majority of the house, because I do think that that's one thing that's worth knowing. Basically, if you want to place a house on a hill and you don't want the foundation under, for example, if you want to do an infinity pool on the terrace and you want windows on the side, and you can't do that because there is a foundation underneath. So basically, you place it's very easy. You place a box, and then you place a box on top, and then you delete the bottom box, and then you just build from there. It's very, very easy, so you avoid having that foundation underneath. There is one thing to note though, because the terrain will never actually touch the walls. That's one thing they've done that I wish we could change. Maybe it'll be changed in the future. I'm not entirely sure. The terrain will touch the foundation, but it'll never actually touch the wall of the house. So because of that, once you start shaping the terrain and lifting it up and stuff, it'll never actually fully touch the house, which means that this house is levitating just a tiny, tiny bit. But unless you actually zoom in and adjust your camera angle and stuff, you can't actually see it. So hopefully, you know, it's not that big of a deal. Plus, I think it's pretty much covered by the wall trim and also plants around the house. Like, you can't actually see it. Like right now, it looks like the house is placed on the hill. So just pretend like it's not levitating just a tiny, tiny bit, because it's really just like a tiny, tiny amount. But as far as I'm aware, there is no fix for that because the terrain won't actually touch the walls or the ground unless, you know, you place the ground like on the terrain itself, or you use the foundation, which I'm not using this time around. So hopefully that makes sense. I tried my best to explain it, but I just sat here thinking like there has to be an easy way to fix that so I can build without the freaking foundation, because I don't always want to build with a foundation. Sometimes I want to be able to make that infinity pool without the foundation. So I did this this time around, and it worked out. So I thought maybe some of you guys would like to know. In the end though, I did end up putting a pool down inside the foundation, so it's not necessarily a proper infinity pool with windows and stuff, but it's still a pretty nice pool that's like, it's got a very nice view. I know your Sims don't care, but it looks pretty, you know what I mean? Like for you it looks pretty because you could just pretend like they enjoy the view or something like that. But yeah, I don't fully know what I was doing with this area, by the way, because technically it's like, it's one of those situations again, your Sims won't mind the sun shining in their face when they're watching TV, but if I was sitting there, I would go crazy because you can't actually see the freaking TV with all the sun. But I thought it would be really cool to have this like outdoors kind of movie watching area sort of situation, so I decided to put down one of the big TVs outside as well. They have one inside and they also have one outside now. So yeah, I know it looks a little bit weird, you know, kind of considering there's so much sun on the back side of the build, but it's just the idea of it is nice in my opinion, or at least like at night where it probably doesn't get cold in Del Sol Valley, your Sims can still sit outside and watch TV in the moonlight outside with all the bugs. It'll be great. So I don't know, I thought it would be cool to have this kind of movie watching area. I don't know what that's called, like home cinema area outside. Does that make any sense? Probably not, but it's fine. Also, in case you haven't noticed yet, whether it be in one of my builds or someone else's builds or your own build, but that wide railing, the glass one as you can see, is one of my new favorite things because it lights up in the dark and I just think that's so freaking cool. You can get in like 6 different swatches or something like that. So there's a pink one, there's a blue one, I think there's a yellow one as well, a turquoise one, probably a black one as well. I'm not entirely sure about the colors, but it's one of my new favorite things. I think it looks so freaking cool at night on contemporary houses, so I don't know, I use that so much. I'm very excited about that one. I also put some strobe lights on the roof of the house that also light up at night, and it looks like it looks kind of like a club scene. It looks really cool. Hopefully I included some footage of that at the start of the video, otherwise there'll be some at the end of the video, I promise, because it's one of those things I really want to show off, like with the strobe lights. It just looks really nice. It kind of looks like, yeah, a club scene or something like that. So here we are changing the color scheme of the house. Like I said before, I changed it to all white, and then I chose to change the swatch of the base game windows to the turquoise one, the turquoise stained. So that looks pretty cool from the outside. You can still look out from the inside, which is probably a good thing. So for the interior, there may be a few things here and there that I'll have to explain because it's a little strange. Like I said, this is a reality TV inspired house. However, I don't personally watch reality TV. I have not done that for years. I watched Big Brother a little bit when I was a kid. Don't tell my mom because I'm pretty sure I wasn't allowed to. It's not a very kid-friendly show. So just don't tell my mom I said that. Or maybe she's watching this video, I don't know. Sorry mom, anyways. So I don't fully know what interior in houses look like, or in reality TV houses look like, because I don't watch it. So basically I only had memories from Big Brother or watching Big Brother as a kid to use as inspiration, but also snippets I've seen from Love Island or Paradise Hotel on Facebook or Instagram or, you know, YouTube or something else. So that was a little bit of a struggle. However, I had a feeling, like, I just kind of had a feeling I knew what they needed in a TV or in a reality TV mansion. So there is, of course, the essentials that your Sims need to be able to play, so you'll be able to play in this house if you want to. So they have the living room in here. There's also a computer, bookcase, so they can level up their skills and stuff. Some of the rooms or the bedrooms also have some other items that we'll get to once we get to the bedrooms, so, you know, don't worry about that as well. They do have their own hobby items, but generally for the house, I wanted it to look like they like to party or something like that. So not like the celebrity party pad that I did before, but like there's a lot of like seating areas around the house so they can sit there and talk or whatever else they want to do in those seating areas, because I think that's a common thing in those reality TV houses. I just recall them having a lot of seating areas where they can either sit together and talk, you know, so stuff happens in the show, or some, like, a couple will sit there and scheme, like, who are we gonna throw out of the TV show this week or something like that. So I made sure to put a fair amount of seating areas scattered throughout the house, so there's some privacy as well. And in here we got the party room, so that's basically, it's a little bit of a strange room. They have a bubble blower because that's a party item in my opinion. They also have a bar in here with 4 bar stools. They also have the fish tank, which is actually an item that I never use, but I thought for a house that's a little bit different, why not go for it? So I put that over there. It is from Spa Day, in case you want to know. It looks pretty cool. I like that fish tank thing, but I just never use it. I have no room in my houses for it. But yes, so the color scheme is black, white, and then with that bold kind of red pink color, and there's a little bit of blue around the fish tank as well. I do go back and change the color scheme in the living room as well to the same color scheme, because I thought it looked a little bit weird having the color scheme in the living room be like blue and yellow, black and white, and then right next door, even though it's technically the same room, there is a whole different kind of color scheme in this area of this room. So I go back and change the color of the rug and also the couches and so on in the other room later on, but I think I cut it out, so I thought I would just point that out right now while we're still working on these rooms. I do think this room is a little bit random, but I wanted there to be some of these items in this house because it's kind of, with reality TV house, you need these kind of party items. So I just popped them all in this room, and I don't know, I think it looks a little bit random, but at the same time I also think the color kind of binds it all together a little bit, so they can have a lot of fun in this room. Later on I also clutter up everything just a little bit because in my mind reality TV contestants aren't necessarily the most clean people, as in the way that they don't necessarily tidy the place a lot, and therefore I put a lot of these drinks around the place. They're actually emotion drinks, so you can find them in the debug menu. So what you gotta do to get the debug menu to show is you gotta press Ctrl Shift and C, and then you gotta type in bb.show hidden objects. I don't remember if you gotta do space on or just without the space on. Don't fully remember, try both in case one doesn't work. And then in the search filter where you can see like search and there's a magnifying glass next to it, you just press debug and then you just go through, like a lot of items will pop up and then you just go through everything until you find the drinks. They're quite nice to have for gameplay. It's a little bit cheaty, but they can be quite nice to have for gameplay, so in case you want to cheat that way, you know, there is that opportunity for you. But I thought they looked a lot like cocktail drinks. I know they're not cocktail glasses, but they are colorful drinks, so I just placed them around the house as well. So it kind of looks like they're not that good at cleaning up after themselves, basically. So in here we got the dining area and also another lounge area over there. I also go for a blue rug for this area too. This is the color that I went for in this room, so it's more like a like a bright blue. Oh, I apparently did include me changing the color scheme. That was so random. Anyways, so this is more like a bright blue, electric blue kind of color that we're going for in here, but I mainly used it for like flowers and other like clutter, and also I think there's a candle on the coffee table over in the corner as well, so just like extra like decor items and not the furniture itself, because I couldn't actually find any furniture with that color. I'm sure there is some in the game, I just couldn't find it, and also because I really wanted to use some of the Get Famous stuff and they don't come in that color. So yes, and over here the little corner kitchen that I was talking about as well. It's a very small kitchen because I don't think they necessarily cook for themselves, so you can hire a butler in this room or in this house, but there is no room for it. What you can do though is change the study that is next to this room that I'm not actually showing in this video because it's not currently done as I'm doing this voiceover. There is quite a lot of rooms in this house, and I'll admit I haven't done all of them yet, but they will be done before, you know, screenshots and all that stuff, so don't worry about that. But if you do want a butler to live in this house, you can just put his room in the study room that is right next to this room. So right there when you see the door, the spa day door right there, you can just put his room in there or her room and you'll have room for a butler too. But if not, then, you know, you can just have your Sims cook in this little corner kitchen. I think it looks nice. It's not the most, you know, complicated kitchen shape. I really want to get better at, you know, interior still, but now I've been so focused on terrain manipulation that I can't spend more time getting better at interior, but I will. Maybe I'll do some apartment builds. If you got any apartment build ideas that you want me to do, let me know, because it's been a while since I've done any apartments on the channel, and I think it's about time that we kind of revisit that. So let me know if you got any ideas for that. And for a change, I actually decided to do something a little bit fancier with the bathrooms, because usually I kind of tend to just get them over with very quickly. I put them in 3x3 rooms so they don't take up that much space, because I'm not really that into doing bathrooms, but I kind of wanted them to, you know, sort of fit the rest of the house, the rest of the interior, and the rooms are quite big in this house, in case you haven't noticed yet. They are a little bit bigger than I usually make my rooms, so of course the bathrooms had to be a little bit bigger as well, and I just thought it would be nice if they all had like their own kind of style. So each bedroom has their own bathroom, but you can still change some of the bathrooms at least to bedrooms if you want to. Like if you want to have a toddler living in one of them, you can do that. Definitely, it is possible with the floor plan. The floor plan is a little bit strange up here on the second floor. I'll admit to that, because it was a weird shape to do a floor plan for, so sorry about that. I did my best. But yes, each bedroom does have their own bathroom, but in case you're one of those players that don't really mind too much and you want an extra bedroom, it is definitely possible to change one of the bathrooms into a bedroom. But I haven't actually included me doing the bathrooms in the footage because there are 7 total, and that would have meant another like 5-7 minutes of footage, which is a little bit too long because this video is already very long, so I decided to cut them out. But if you do like bathrooms and you want to see what they look like, you can either download the house off the gallery, or you can stick around until the screenshots, because they will be shown in the screenshots. So we are starting the bedrooms now. Bedrooms and also living rooms are probably my favorite rooms to decorate. So we have 5 bedrooms in this house. I really wanted there to be room for 8 bedrooms total, but I just could not make it work with the floor plan. As you can see, there's a lot going on up here. Each bedroom has their own bathroom, and because of that, I just could not make room for 8 bedrooms total, unfortunately. So there is only 5, but you can definitely, like I said before, turn the study downstairs into a bedroom as well if you want to, and there's 6. However, it's 5 bedrooms with 2 sim beds, like a double bed, so you technically got room for 10 sims right now, which I think is okay considering you can only have 8 sims living in here. But in reality TV houses, I don't, because some of them have separate bedrooms, but some of them, like Big Brother, I'm pretty sure some of them share bedrooms as well, like 6 people total, 8 people total, or something like that. So it's not really, you know, you can have, if you want to play it like a reality TV show in here, you can definitely just have them share beds. I did want to make sure that each bedroom sort of showed the personality of the sim living in there though. So the first bedroom that you saw was the white, mint, and sort of silver bedroom kind of. So we have the beauty influencer living in there. I gave her the video production table, or whatever that is called, where she can record her videos, because I love that thing, by the way. It's amazing and it's so accurate as well. Like it's so good. So super excited about that item overall, but I wanted her to have that one, so in case you just want to play in this house like normally, you can still just have sims living in these rooms, and they both have, or all have, their own like hobby items, for example. So hers is the video production table. The room you saw after that, which was the blue and brown one, is meant for the sports star, so that's why I put the treadmill in there, and he's also got a yoga mat out on the terrace. Now, I know in the game you can only be a bodybuilder, which means you can be famous as a bodybuilder, but at least not in Europe, bodybuilders are not that famous unless you are in that community already. So I see him as being more like a soccer player maybe, or a handball player, maybe even like a tennis player or something like that. So he's got the treadmill because in those sports you still need to like stay in shape. So I know with staying in shape, bodybuilders, you have to stay in shape too, but it's a different kind of shape. Just like, it's not running, it's building muscles. So I see him as more like a soccer player, for example. So he has that room where he can still work out a little bit now and then. And this room is meant for, not this room, but the other one, the black and red one, was meant for the actor, and I didn't really know what to do in there, so he doesn't really have any, what's it called, hobby items in here. It's just very glamorous, kind of, not really. It's just a very stylish, maybe a little bit overdone, kind of over the top. He has an inspirational quote over his bed as well, and he got the good terrace because he probably earns a lot of money, a lot more money than some of the other people in this house. So I gave him that one, but he's definitely famous. He's huge. So yeah, this room, however, is for the style influencer or fashion influencer. I'm not entirely sure what the career is called in the game, but he has a, or she, I'm not actually sure, I'm just saying he or she for each room, but they have their own wardrobe as well, or walk-in closet that you need to go through to get to the bedroom, which is a little bit weird. However, I couldn't make it work any other way, so sorry about that. I tried. I tried my very best. But they have their own walk-in closet as well. Unfortunately, I did not include that in the footage because this video is so long, but it will be included in the screenshots at the end of the video, so if you want to see what that looks like and you didn't really catch a glimpse of it just before, hang around for that. But yeah, this is the last bedroom of the 5 and it's for the musicians, so I kind of wanted it to be a little bit more bohemian, kind of like maybe a little bit stylish bohemian sort of. This is probably the kind of style that I prefer to decorate in, sort of, or at least like when it comes to decor, because there's quite a lot of it in here. I put a lot of plants now and here and there, and you guys know that I like to put plants in my builds. So this is very me, sort of. But it does look a little bit out of place compared to some of the other bedrooms because they're a little bit more modern, contemporary, the other bedrooms, whereas this one is a little bit more colorful and wooden and stuff like that. So it does stand out just a little bit, but I thought it was important to include the musician as well, because that's another thing you can kind of get. I know you can get famous for everything in The Sims, but it's still another kind of normal thing to get famous for in real life, you know, like musicians are quite a big thing. So yes, I wanted there to be a musician in this household as well, and I made their bedroom a little bit more bohemian compared to some of the other bedrooms. And now we're doing the rest of the exterior. I did have to cut out some of the landscaping, like plants and stuff, because it was getting a little bit repetitive, and again, this video is so freaking long and I'm losing my voice because I've been talking for too long as well. It's going great, but it's all good. So I did cut out some of it later on, but hopefully it'll still make sense to you guys what's going on. I just cut out a little bit on the right side of the build, but not too much though, so hopefully it'll be fine. We're using a lot of the plants from Jungle Adventure. I don't think, other than, you know, the low-lying bushes right now, I don't actually often use the plants from Jungle Adventure because they kind of stand out with suburban houses a little bit, but it was nice to use them this time around. I think they look really good with palm trees, and there's a lot of palm trees in this area, so I was like, I'll just take my chances. And I also put in a lot of flowered bushes or colorful flowers and bushes in the landscaping as well, because I think it looks really cool with the white build, because the white is just kind of like clean, and then you got a lot of colors in the landscaping. I think that looks pretty good, so I decided to do that. But yeah, that's basically what we're doing here. And also at the back, just add a lot of flowers here and there, some grass and some bigger bushes from Jungle Adventure, and then the palm trees. So they kind of, I try to blend it in a little bit with the landscaping around the house, but there's not a whole lot going on around the house though. There's some palm trees, but yeah, other than that, not a whole lot going on. It's a very plant-free zone. But yeah, so we're fixing the rest of the sort of cinema area in the backyard here. I like the pattern that I ended up doing with the I don't actually know what this kind of fence is called, because it's not a fence because it's very small, but I have no idea. I know it's called something window shopper in the game though. It's from Get to Work. I mainly use it to frame up tiles and stuff like that, and maybe do these patterns above the patios and other stuff like that, but I don't actually know what this kind of fence is called, unfortunately. But I like the pattern that I came up with this one because it's a little bit more contemporary than some of the other patterns that I've done before. So, and then they just have this little cute cozy area down there where they can sit and watch some movies together if you have movie hangout stuff back, or they can just watch TV together as well outside where it probably never rains. Oh no, what if it starts raining and then ruins the TV? I didn't actually think about that. I have no idea if that happens. Has someone playtested that? Because I don't know. Does it ever rain in Del Sol Valley? I have no freaking clue. Hopefully not. Maybe not a lot. Maybe like a little bit now and then, but not like crazy. Let's just hope for the best. Hopefully the TV that's pretty expensive won't get ruined by the rain because it's outside, because that would be pretty dumb. But they do have that area out there until it starts raining at least. So there's that. And then they have the pool here next to this little cinema area, and I put in some waterfalls or whatever those are called, fountains things or whatever. So other than that, I'm just doing a little bit more landscaping, and I'm also going to finish the terrace where I put a bar. I wish we had counters that match that bar. Unfortunately, we don't. I'm sure they had their reasons though, but yeah, that sucks a little bit, just a little bit. I also put in a music player so they can dance on the terrace or something like that, a couch over here, and also a grill and a dining table so they can sit outside and eat while looking over Del Sol Valley, because the view from this knot is freaking gorgeous. I will include a photo of it at the end of the video so you can see what I mean, but yeah, it's just gorgeous. And other than that, that's about it for now, so I'm gonna wrap up this voiceover. I hope you like this build. You can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. As always, if you have any suggestions for anything you want to see me do on the channel, do let me know in the comment section down below. We're reaching 30k soon, apparently, which is absolutely crazy. So if you have any suggestions for a subscriber special or something else, also do let me know in the comment section down below. I am all up for suggestions. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff if you did, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.
It's like a love scene with waves of flirting. Seasons change us. Maybe it's just me and mine, where thunder's had its way. When kindness is portrayed as blind, add glitter to the rays. Oh, no need to beg pardon. No need to beg pardon. Strong piano playing, wind chimes swaying. I'm longing for summer nights down by the ocean. High emotion, legs covered in mosquito bites. Oh, seasons change us. Maybe it's just me and mine, where thunder's had its way. When kindness is portrayed as blind, add glitter to the rays. Oh, no need to beg pardon. No need to beg pardon from me. Maybe it's just me and mine, where thunder has had its way. When kindness is portrayed as blind, add glitter to the rays. Oh, no need to beg pardon. Oh, no need to beg pardon. Oh, maybe it's just me and mine, where thunder has had its way. When kindness is portrayed as blind, add glitter to the rays. Oh, no